Iron Grip: The Oppression is a first-person shooter real-time strategy game hybrid that flings you headfirst into a bloodthirsty rebellion, where a ragtag group of resistance fighters must face off against the oppressive might of a communist regime. When you first enter a match in Iron Grip, you won't notice anything too different from your typical Day of Defeat style multiplayer game. Players choose different heroes, which take the place of class sets, and are tasked with defending 3 crucial hotspots around the level to prevent the regime from taking over. However, in order to win, the Resistance must assassinate General Ramos, leader of the Oppression, who is somewhere in the map, roaming around at his leisure. Where the game gets wild is in the aptly titled Oppression side. In most multiplayer games, an equal selection of players fill out the roster on both sides of the match, constantly facing you off against a slew of online but real opponents. In Iron Grip, however, the enemy is controlled by a single player. The player controls the match via a real-time strategy interface, rather like the controls you use in Command & Conquer. This player also begins with a certain amount of cash and resource points, which he can then use to build tanks, soldiers, or upgrades that will give him access to an even wider arsenal, which will later include different types of soldiers, enhanced weaponry, battle armor, and a larger selection of tanks. The Oppression leader can even jump down into the body of his general and assume control like a normal first-person shooter game for a bit, taking some headshots or finding a safe little out-of-the-way place to hide during the course of the match so he doesn't get killed and lose. If it sounds like this puts the Resistance at an uneven disadvantage, it does, but that's part of what makes the game so fun. When you're playing as the Resistance, you really get the feeling that you're fighting against impossible odds and doing everything in your power to delay the inevitable just long enough to take out the enemy commander. Do you stay and defend your last checkpoint from an onslaught of Oppression forces, or do you sneak away, hoping to get in behind enemy lines and cause some major damage? Maybe you'll even find the enemy commander, which could bring you the match, if you can find him and take him down. It's a hard decision and a hard game, but it works really, really well, especially with the latest patch out now, which keeps the lag levels down, which were really bad earlier on. It also helps that the game looks awesome. There aren't a lot of maps implemented yet, which is something the team and hopefully the community will compensate for in the future, but each level that there is looks awesome from start to finish. Iron Grip takes place in a steampunk alternate universe with airships sailing overhead, tram cars rumbling along on steel cables, and giant megalithic cathedrals blocking out the horizon. It's so well detailed that it almost makes you wish there was a single-player component just so you could explore the world a little bit more. On the downside, the game is still in beta form, meaning there are a lot of bugs that still need working out. To be quite honest, when I first played the game in its original form, I could not stand it. It wasn't well implemented, it was laggy, there were issues with character damage, it was just not fun to play, it was way too hard. But with the latest patch, it has been tweaked out to perfection. And work in progress or no, Iron Grip: The Oppression is still an awesome example of what the Half-Life 2 engine can do with a lot of hard work and perseverance. There is a lot of innovative gameplay, it's an interesting experience from start to finish, and there's nothing else like it out there. So, it's definitely worth your time to download, and it's definitely worth Mod of the Month.